Williams had it knocked away, goes right to his teammate Wiggins, and got it packed on the glass by Wembanyama.
The Spurs' young roster has currently gone way beyond their expectations for this year. They're on an 8-game win streak, and 3 of those wins have come over the Oklahoma City Thunder. The goal for this video is to learn from what made this matchup so horrible for Oklahoma City. Both teams have great paint defense alongside mobile guards they use to consistently pressure the ball handler. However, the Spurs have 4+ players who can all score 20 points on a night and can all handle the ball and shoot well. This creates a nightmare matchup with the Thunder, as the Thunder's main offensive scheme runs through Shai Gilgeous-Alexander. Both teams' similar styles of hedge and recover defense have very different results, because while the Spurs can capitalize on the Thunder only having one person they can run most of their offense through, the Thunder have a very different problem. Whenever they hedge to block off one ball handler, 3 more pop up. This is why the Spurs maintain a nightmare matchup for the OKC Thunder. So as you can see, all 5 Oklahoma City Thunder players are staring directly at the ball right here. And every one of them is trying to make it so that Keldon Johnson has nowhere to go.
It's the consistency.
So as soon as the ball is passed to Stephon Castle, these players both start staring directly at Stephon Castle. The Thunder offense is built upon hedging. He is shoulders square to Stephon Castle. Shai Gilgeous-Alexander is shoulders square to Stephon Castle, and then everyone's gonna rotate around the 3-point line. And then look, because Shai Gilgeous-Alexander is looking directly at Stephon Castle, this flare screen by Luke Kornet catches him completely off guard. So there you get the screen, and this person is trying to split the difference between De'Aaron Fox and Keldon Johnson. That's just not going to work. Shai Gilgeous-Alexander is barely fighting over this screen, and this person does not want to switch on to Keldon Johnson, does not want to create a bad matchup. This also works because there are 4 guys around the perimeter, and Keldon Johnson, Stephon Castle, Julian Champagnie, and De'Aaron Fox, who can all shoot the 3-ball and can all drive. So Stephon Castle's ability to get downhill and into the paint is widely respected around the league, but his ability to shoot is not. He is going to try his hardest to drag Alex Caruso into the top half of this screen and force him to go over, and then put Alex Caruso on his back, keep him in jail, whatever you want to call it, so that he can create an advantage in a 2-on-1. He'll do this through the rescreening that you see Luke Kornet do. He'll do this by going back and forth around the screen. And as you can see, this hard hedging here, where he's basically reaching in, creates this opportunity for Devin Vassell, Dylan Harper, and Keldon Johnson all in the corner. So Stephon Castle is going to get completely downhill. Alex Caruso will be on his back, and iHeart's got to choose between the 2 of them. And unfortunately, Kornet is not the fastest center, so he can't really make it that tough of an option. Therefore, Stephon Castle just chooses to take the floater over him. It shows y'all smaller guards who can't shoot what to do with ball screens. Just go back and forth, try to get this screener, your center, try to be on the same page, have them go under the person they're trying to screen, force them over the top. Also, it showcases how all 3 of these outside, strong side defenders helping creates opportunities for all of the guards around the 3-point line. They're basically running, I know Devin Vassell and Keldon Johnson are forwards, but they're basically running a 4-guard lineup because of everyone's ability to drive after getting the ball on a kick out.
And the paint floats it up, no, but got the sun.
So we're going to be looking at the game between the Suns and the Thunder that happened immediately before their game with the Spurs, where the Thunder blew out the Suns.
Casey Wallace puts it up and in. And a rebound by the angular Chet Holmgren.
So here, as Shai Gilgeous-Alexander is bringing the ball up the court, he denies the screen from Lou Dort, and there is no help side defense to prevent him from getting in the gaps. Grayson Allen is there to defend the paint, but he's not quite close enough to actually get a good hold on Shai Gilgeous and that pull-up jumper.
Who has a career high in rebounding at 8 a game.
So what the Spurs did differently is they hedged hard in the gaps, except the Suns do not have the same type of playmaking guards and passing hubs that the Spurs have that can be used to punish this type of defense. I'm not trying to say that the Suns did an amazing job against the Thunder this game. I'm just trying to show what types of plays do work against the Thunder. The Suns ran this play. It's just a pick and roll play, except the wing man moves to the corner and the corner man cuts through. And it is a kryptonite for defenses that try to hedge hard. So here you'll see Dylan Brooks gets the pick and roll, he drives left, and the corner man has rotated almost all the way out into the other corner. The opposite side wing man who set the pick is going to rotate further up, and then Grayson Allen is going to rotate to the corner, and he's going to have a wide open three. And the reason this happens is because the low man, it was originally the person defending the corner, and he's now on the opposite side of the court. Shai Gilgeous-Alexander was originally defending Grayson Allen. He was supposed to be the hedge help defender, but then as Grayson Allen runs to the other side, that hedge help goes further away from Shai Gilgeous-Alexander, and he ends up having to run all the way to the corner to get an open three. So now you're probably thinking, if the Spurs can do everything that the Oklahoma City Thunder can do, except they can do it better, and they can do it against Oklahoma City, then where have their losses come from this season? So we're going to look at the two losses they had to the Warriors back-to-back, where Steph Curry erupted for 46 and 49 points respectively, and what caused them to lose.
State, the 21st team in scoring. Good pass, Curry, Richard back out, around the horn, 5 to fire, Green inside, Richard.
In that play, Draymond Green was used as a passing hub alongside Steph Curry's gravity, which exposes all of the weaknesses of this hedge-heavy, aggressive pressure defense, the same way that the Spurs' guards expose the same deficiencies in the Thunder's defense. So, the first pass was made to Curry after Draymond Green got it from the dish, and Harrison Barnes' gravity pulled him back towards Curry, where Draymond Green then has the green light to drive. And drive he does, eventually dishing it off. And because you have such a good passer here, this happened over and over again, creating gravity across the court. Another problem that the Spurs were having was Kornet's lack of impact during this game compared to the Oklahoma City game. So on this drive, Stephon Castle got blocked because Luke Kornet is not nearly as much of a rolling threat as he was in the Oklahoma City game. Al Horford has the freedom to step up onto him and eventually get the block. Looking at this again, you can clearly see Al Horford's making a decision onto Stephon Castle, and because Luke Kornet is not in that little dunker spot waiting for the ball, Stephon Castle has nowhere to go but up, or I guess to Keldon Johnson. He probably missed that though, and eventually gets blocked. So it's important to note that you really can't take away everything. So here we're going to look at two examples of what the Spurs didn't take away.
The loose ball, it's J-Dub over to Dort, made the last one, make it 2.
One of those was Lou Dort threes. There are so many times throughout the game where Lou Dort would get open looks because the Spurs prioritized heavy pressure defense where they can leave Dort open. A common theme throughout the NBA is that whenever teams don't have as good of a shooter, the defense is capitalized by trying to defend with one more guy on the ball, leaving that shooter open. And here's another thing the Spurs let get by them a lot.
See over. No way. He's a large man.
Isaiah Hartenstein's floater from about 10 feet out probably got him about 20 points over the course of the 3 games. The reason this floater was so effective is because as Luke Kornet hedges hard to stop Shai Gilgeous-Alexander's drives, Isaiah Hartenstein finds himself open on that short roll. So here you can see through this pick and roll with Victor Wembanyama and Dylan Harper that the Thunder really do employ the same type of defense that the Spurs does, where they'll hedge hard and typically leave people open.
High-scoring game so far? It's mostly because of better offense. Everybody's sharp.
However, the extra pass from Dylan Harper to De'Aaron Fox and then to Victor Wembanyama got him this open look. And if he didn't want to take it, Keldon Johnson was wide open in the corner.
Offensively, like you said.
This really does show the difference between the Spurs offense and the Thunder offense. Because they have so many quick guards and perimeter players, they can really get around the aggressive defense that the Thunder try to use. So here you'll see the same type of defense played by the Spurs. What I want you to keep your eye on is whenever Shai Gilgeous-Alexander doesn't get the backcourt violation and instead gets around Castle and goes for a pull-up three-pointer, you'll see the entire Spurs defense collapse on his driving lanes, and you will also see a lack of movement from the guards around the perimeter.
City, home of the reigning NBA champs, the Thunder, taking on...
So now you can see every single player on the Spurs is in the driving lanes. The Spurs would allow pull-up threes and pull-up jumpers and would take away opportunities to score elsewhere. They would make the ball handler score, is what typically is what it's called.
The San Antonio Spurs as the reigning.
And here you'll see through the pick and roll hedging that the Spurs do, there's often one man open. Here it was Chet Holmgren.
That really gets defenders off balance.
Williams.
De'Aaron Fox would have been about 2 steps late, and Chet Holmgren would have been able to have a closeout to work with. So I really want you to think, would you rather be kicking out to Chet Holmgren or to someone like Dylan Harper, Devin Vassell, Stephon Castle, De'Aaron Fox? This is what the Spurs took advantage of. They had better people to kick out to.